Hey everybody, it's me, Julz again. Well, it's been over 2 years since DC's New 52 reboot had been launched. And since then, there have been some success. However, not enough to outweigh the problems, mind you, especially the more fundamental ones. No, I don't hate everything about the New 52. There are, in fact, some comics that I could recommend from it as to what the New 52 got right. Though few there are. Okay, to be perfectly honest, I love this company. DC is in fact one of the better companies out there, aside from Marvel and Dark Horse. However, you can't just praise something solely out of loyalty, otherwise you'll be applauding something mediocre. Yes, I know it's terrible, but it's high profile kind of terrible. No, this isn't me crying out to get the old universe back. I know we're not gonna get it back. This is addressing the problems at hand and what is needed for the New 52, better quality and better planning. Some people may see this as being averse to change. No, a reboot was not a bad idea or trying to bring in new readers. It's been done before. But it is the poor execution of this reboot that is in question here, and much of the fandom is pretty much tired of it. And I say that the fans deserve to be heard, that they are tired of the overall lack of proper planning and quality of DC Comics lately. These problems must be addressed if DC wishes to keep their fans and stay in the game. Sure, yeah, you could get a whole mess of new readers, however, it won't mean anything if you keep losing your old ones. It's like trying to fill in a container of water and hoping that it'll fill up, except you notice the giant gaping hole on the side and all of it's spilling out. If you already disagree with me and are already rolling your eyes, then fine, nothing's stopping you. There's actually a button right there in order to shut off the video. You may leave. To those of you who will still stay and still disagree with me, I am sorry. For those of you who will stay and agree with me, you are welcome. This is the top 10 problems with the New 52. Number 10, canceled titles. In the past 2 years alone, there have been a number of canceled titles, most of which were never promoted or given any chance to talk of sales. And among these failed titles are comics that feature characters from the Wildstorm universe, which was folded into the DC universe due to Flashpoint. Almost every comic that had featured Wildstorm characters have ended, showing that the attempt to include Wildstorm into DC was a wasted attempt, and the cost was the cancellation of an entire universe and its characters. As well as losing titles such as Vibe, Static Shock, which weren't even given that much room to be promoted or grow, and give them enough time in the spotlight in order to stick around. As well as two critically acclaimed fantasy genre books, Amethyst and Demon Knights, were cancelled as well, which would have been good contenders for Wonder Woman and JLA Dark. However, instead of trying to further tap into the fantasy genre and gain Tolkien and Game of Thrones fans, DC wasted this opportunity. Demon Knights, Amethyst, Stormwatch, Voodoo, Grifter, and among other titles have now ended. Seen as nothing more than a waste of time, missed opportunities, and a desperate attempt to hit 52 brand new issues come relaunch. Number 9, the crossovers. Crossovers start showing up between titles and books, but they haven't even been out for a year yet. But DC, in their vast wisdom, decided to shake up the story before they even had a status quo, or even give readers time to get adjusted to the story and these characters. Interrupting storylines within other books by providing very unnecessary crossover events that don't even accomplish anything in the grand scheme of things or go anywhere in their own titles. This is apparently a tactic that DC has been relying on for a while to draw in new readers. However, it only creates one of the same problems that they set out to fix. Readers had to pick up a book they didn't regularly pick up in order to get a piece of the story. Instead of just going back and read old issues to catch up, one has to buy multiple copies in order to keep up with one's favorite stories and characters. It's a very inefficient tactic for there to be a crossover event, but that story chopped up between the titles that it's crossing over with. If somebody's just reading from one trade, they're going to be pretty damn confused why one part of the story isn't there. Now, while there are some good crossover events, such as Court of Owls, however, crossovers like that had standalone stories in their books and weren't necessary in order to understand the main one. But apparently that isn't the case with most of the crossovers in the New 52.